Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 5.1 Notes. Today we're talking about solving systems of linear inequalities. Our learning targets today are to be able to identify whether an ordered pair or point is a solution to a system of linear inequalities, to be able to graph systems of linear inequalities, and give graphical evidence and identify sample solutions. Now, before we get started, we do have a couple definitions to go over. So the first one, a solution of systems of inequalities. An algebraic solution is an ordered pair that gives us a true statement. Okay, now it's a true statement when substituted to each inequality. Okay, each. My little note right there is it must work for both of them. Okay. So an ordered pair that gives a true statement when substituted to each inequality, and it must work for both. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the definition, so if you need more time, hit pause. Okay, first one. So they give us the point -4, -1, and I need to check it to make sure it works into the first one and the second one. Okay, so let's go with our first one. The 6x minus y is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so I have to plug in the -4 where the x goes and the -1 where the y goes. So because remember it's x comma y. So 6 times -4 is -24. And now two negatives right there make that a +1, less than or equal to 5. And then what's -24 plus 1? Well, -24 plus 1 is -23. And is -23 less than or equal to 5? Yeah, so that's true. We're happy, but it's got to work for both. So I'm not sure if this is our answer yet. So now I'm going to plug into our second one. Our y is -1 is greater than 1/2 of -4 plus 1. Okay, so once again, I plugged in my x and my y into our equation. All right, so, well, on the left side, we don't have to do anything. That's just -1. So they're saying -1 is greater. Well, half of -4. Half of 4 is 2, and this one is negative. So -2 plus 1. -2 plus 1 is -1. So is -1 greater than -1? What do you think? That's false. Now, if it was greater than or equal to, yeah, that would have worked. But it's just the inequality symbol is greater. Okay, so our final answer, they're wondering, is it a solution? No, it is not a solution. So that's our final answer. Okay, so the key thing is we have to check it into both of them. All right. Now, a graphical solution is an ordered pair that is inside of the shaded area of a solution. I'm sorry, an ordered pair that is inside of the shaded area of a system of inequalities. Okay, so once again, if you need more time to write that, just pause the video. So our example is -1, 4, a solution of the system below. If not, name an ordered pair, a point that is a solution. So their point, they're telling me that -1, 4. So there's -1, there's 4, there's my point. is that inside of the shaded area over here? Yes or no? No. Okay. So is it a solution? No, because yes, you need to write a little bit. It's not in the shaded area. Okay. Now, that's not all it asked. It asked, if not, name an ordered pair that is a solution. Okay. So there are multiple different points that you could use right here. I'm going to go with a point 5, 3. Okay. It's inside of the shaded point. And guys, you could have used, I'm just going randomly. You could have picked any one of those. All of those are solutions. Okay. So I'm going to say the ordered pair, 5, 3, is a solution. Okay. All right, let's look at the next part. So it's saying determine if the ordered pairs are a solution to the system of linear inequalities. Right? Yes or no. Okay, so for the first part, we're going to do one together and you get to do two on your own. But we're going to be plugging in. So we get to plug in this point into each equation. Okay, so the first one we have 3 minus y is less than 2. Okay, so remember the x is 1 and the y is 4. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 4 is less than 2. What's 3 minus 4? Yeah, it's negative 1. Is negative 1 less than 2? Yep, that's true. So that's the first one, but now we got to check the second one. Okay, so we have 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 1. And once again, we're plugging in 1 for x and 4 for y. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. Is 6 greater than or equal to 1? Yep. So we have two trues. That means my final answer, is it a solution? Yes. Okay, so just plugging in. Try number 2 by yourself. Go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, so going through on our first one, I have 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4, plus 5 is less than 1. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1, and is 1 less than or equal to 1? True. Okay, but remember, we have to check it into both of them. So x was, or y was 5. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. Is 5 greater than 5? No, that's false. Okay, so since it's false, our final answer is no. All right, number 3. Number 3, they're saying, is negative 3, 1 a solution to the system? So all we're going to do is graph. So negative 3, 1, is that a solution, yes or no? Yes. Okay, why don't you do number 4 on your own? I'm just getting ready to write my answer. So 0, negative 2. 0, negative 2 is right there. Is that part of the shaded region? That's right. Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over. Now we're getting to the fun part. Okay, So now we're talking about graphing. So we're going to graph the system, and then we're going to figure out what we need to shade. Okay? So you need to make sure you're doing this with a pencil in case you make a mistake. And let's go ahead and get started. So the rules says graph one inequality at a time and make sure you only graph that line. Label the regions created by the intersecting lines. We're going to eliminate the regions that aren't supposed to be shaded, and then we're going to shade the remaining region. Okay? So I know that sounds really complicated, but trust me, we're going to get through this. All right? So just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to color coordinate everything so you can kind of tell. My first line I'm going to graph in red. Okay? So when I'm graphing, I need to know my slope. And my slope is a negative 2/3. And my y-intercept is -1 or 0, -1. So the m is my movement, my slope, and the b, that's where we begin. Okay? Now, the next information I'm just going to get from my inequality symbol right there. Okay? I know that that's going to be a solid line and that I need to shade above. Okay? It's the greater than symbol, and greater than means above, and the line underneath means that it's going to be solid with closed points. Okay? So let's go ahead and graph this. So I'm starting at -1, so 0, -1, and then I'm going down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And we need to graph this all of the points possible, okay? So now that we've got that, go ahead and use a straight edge to graph your straight line. It's a solid line, and there we go. Okay, my next line, I'm going to graph in blue. So once again, I need to know my slope is 1/4. And our b, where we begin, is going to be 0, 2. Okay, so for this line, that inequality symbol, it's less than, okay, which means it's going to be dashed, and it's going to be open. Okay, so at 0, 2, I am open, and then I go up 1 over 4, up 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, and then, oh, that wasn't 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe it was. Okay, and now I'm going to make a dashed line and have my arrows. So what they said about naming the regions, those two lines created 4 different portions of our graph. Okay, so here's region 1, region 2, region 3, and region 4. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that too so you can see it. Okay, so those are my different areas that I can shade. Okay, now my first graph, you guys aren't going to shade this, but you're just going to kind of watch what I'm doing. Okay, said that I need to shade above the red line. So if I'm shading above the red line, did I shade 3 or 4? Nope, so I know those cannot be part of my answer. All right, but now my next one, my blue line says that I didn't write which way I'm supposed to shade. That we have to shade below. So if I'm shading below that line, I can only shade down here. And what's the only number that's shaded for both of those? It was 2. So I know that 2 is my answer, and that's what I should shade in. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. Okay, so 2 was our answer, and that's exactly how it should look. Okay, so now that we've graphed everything, we need to name an ordered pair that is a solution. And you can go anywhere within the graph. Okay, I'm just going to go right there. Okay, and that's the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's an ordered pair that is a solution would be the point 4, 1. Now, name an ordered pair that is not a solution. You can go anywhere that is not shaded. Okay, so I'm going to come all the way down right here, and that's the point -5, -5. And once again, you could pick any of them. All right, let's go ahead and do number 6. All right, number 6, our first line is y is less than -1. This is going to be my line in red. It's just a y, so this is our special case. This is going to be a horizontal line. It's going to be dashed, that's right. And this is one where we shade above or below. So less than means below, okay? And once again, we got all of that from that little inequality, okay? So here's -1 right here. And then that's just going to be a dashed line. Okay, so I only graph one at a time. All right, let's look at our next one. We have y is less than or equal to 3x minus 7. I'm going to shade this one in blue. So my slope is 3, but I want that as a fraction, so it's going to be 3 over 1. And then our y-intercept is at 0, -7. So looking at that inequality, what's it tell us? Well, it's going to be solid because there's a line beneath it. And then we have to shade below because it's less than. Okay? So we're starting at -7. And we're closed. And then we go up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, and we're going to make a nice solid line. Oh. There we go. Okay, and once again, we're going to label all the sections. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at the red one. Our red line says that it has to be below. So if I'm shading below, 3 and 4 are my only answers, which means 1 and 2, bye-bye. And now we have to be below the blue line. So anything below is what I can shade. Well, which one did I shade? Did I shade 3 or 4? 3, which means 3 is going to be the section that we have to shade in. So there we go. And that is our answer. Okay. Now, it's asking us once again, name a solution and a non-solution. So a point that's in there, boom, nice and easy, right on the line. Okay, that's the point 5, -5. Okay, and remember, you guys can go anywhere that's not a solution. Anywhere. Okay, I'm going to come just right there. And that's the point 0, 5. Okay. All right. Number 7. Why don't you guys see if you can graph the lines on your own? Remember that that's going to be a special case. We already talked about a horizontal line with y. So if it's an x, that means it's going to be a vertical line. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, there's a little sneak peek of what it should be. Go back and pause the video for your graph. Okay, so there are my regions and the lines that I've graphed. Okay, everything was open or dashed. So looking at my red line, it tells me that I have to shade everything that is above. Okay, so that means number 3 and number 4 are out. Now my vertical line, it's less than, and less than means to the left. Which means now I can cross out number 2, and the only thing that should be shaded is number 1. Okay? So, tell me, name a solution. There's a solution right there. Oh, sorry. And that solution is the point -8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So -8, 4. Okay, and remember, you can go anywhere that is not shaded in. I'm just going to be super lame. I'm going to go for the origin, which is 0, 0. All right, guys, and that's it. I know that was a lot to cover. If you need any extra assistance, please come find Ms. Carranza or myself, because your homework is very similar. You're going to be graphing. I think that's all you're going to be doing. A lot of graphing, okay? Well, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra Unit 5.1 Notes. Thanks for watching.